thing into the bowl. You have to set the sponge aside in a warm place for about an hour.
Okay. So here's the sponge after an hour. Oh, it looks great.
It looks great.
Yes.
And we're going to add to this our mahlepi, which has been steeping
Tell
infused.
us what that is, because that's something unusual.
This is a really interesting spice. What does it remind you of when you smell it?
Sour cherries.
And it's the kernel, actually, of a cherry tree.
Of a cherry pit.
Of the cherry pit.
Good.
This is basically an infusion. That's how you get sort of the flavor out of it.
So boiling water? Okay, so 2 teaspoons of mahlepi and 1/2 cup of simmering water. And so then you strain that into your sponge.
Now we're adding our butter.
And how many tablespoons?
8 tablespoons of melted butter.
And that has to be cooled.
Yeah. And our eggs.
So 5 eggs.
5 eggs. Okay, we're going to sift our flour. Actually, we're going to do our zest first.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
So the zest of 1 lemon and 1...
And 1 orange. It's actually about a tablespoon of each. Okay.
So that adds a nice color and also a nice flavor, doesn't it?
Then we're going to sift 8 cups of flour into this, which is already measured.
All right, that's all measured for you. Here's some sugar. You can just... We'll do it in halves since...
And a bit of salt. Okay, this is going to get
kneaded now.
Knead a bit, yeah. Okay. You can see it's a fairly wet dough.
I'll knead that for you if you like. I'd love to knead it, and you can show how to form the bread.
It's risen for about 2 hours. You can see it. It really feels great. Punch down the dough a little bit now.
Does that make 1 or 2 loaves?
This makes 2 loaves. Okay, this is going to be divided into 6 balls, 3 for each loaf. And this bread is almost always shaped into a braid. And I think there's a certain symbolism behind that too. It's sort of the Holy Trinity. It has to do with that. You can see how easily this rolls out.
Very smooth.
Yeah.
It's great when you're working with bread like this to have a good surface. This is a heavy dough.
It is. You start the braid in the center, actually. That's kind of a little trick and this bread is always decorated with red dyed eggs. That's just...
It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is.
And the eggs bake in the oven with the bread.
The eggs are already boiled, obviously, but they bake in the oven. And usually they're not eaten. You can really put the egg sort of anywhere in the bread. Another trick, just to sort of keep it adhered to the dough, is to just take a tiny piece and roll it out and coil it around the egg, which helps keep it in its place, like that.
So usually 2?
Usually 2. It depends on how many eggs you've dyed.
So we bake on a buttered sheet?
On a buttered sheet. Okay, there we go. And this is going to rise again for about an hour. The potatoes should be pretty well roasted because the artichokes take obviously less time to do.
You can see the steam rising from that beautiful, beautiful lamb.
You can see there's plenty of juice in here.
That's that lemon juice.
Yeah. I just really want to get it sort of all worked in together. This goes back in.
Where do you get all your inspiration for your recipes?
Well, I spent the last 4 years of my life in my car, basically driving around Greece.
So these will bake at 350?
Yeah.
For how long?
About 50 minutes to an hour.
When these are done, the lamb will be done, and we can just get our table ready.
That's right.
Thank you. This is great. I'm really looking forward to the food. Well, Diane, the lamb is done.
Looks good.
I just put the potatoes in a little while to brown them.
To brown a bit.
Yes, let's see how they look.
How they look.
They look better?
Pretty much done.
Okay. It just smells so good. Nothing as good as green potatoes. And it's about the lemon juice, I think.
It is.
And those dried herbs. They look just great.
Perfect.
The lamb looks succulent. It's rested a little bit before carving. It's a little bit rare, as you like
I know.
it.
That's good.
Do you have any special traditions that you want to tell us about?
Well, one of the things that we should do is crack eggs. That's probably the one thing that everyone does repeatedly over Easter. And it's a good luck thing.
How about a little bit of the dried oregano?
For some garnish.
Wouldn't that be pretty? Just around the bone.
Great.
There. So I'll carry it for you. And this wonderful wine.
This is a simple Greek table wine. It's called kouros, and it's one of the best, one of the great buys on the market.
Oh, can we have a little sip of that?
Sure.
Taste that. And I'm going to cut into the spinach pie because I'm very anxious to see what that tastes like. With this beautiful crust and beautiful filling.
Great. Looks really good.
How does that look to you?
Looks great.
Excellent. Through the layers of the phyllo.
It's good.
It's excellent. And we have all kinds of cheeses here. Describe these cheeses.
Try some of the wine.
I will.
These are fairly common Greek cheeses. This is feta, which I think probably everyone knows feta. It's the sheep and goat's milk cheese that's aged in a barrel, a brine cheese. This is kefalograviera, which is also a sheep's milk cheese. It's sort of a tangy, slightly sharp cheese. And this is kaseri, which is the mildest of the Greek yellow cheeses. And this is manouri, which is a soft cheese, similar to ricotta salata, if you know that.
And then, of course, the bread, which is so beautiful. And how did you make your tara masalata?
The tara masalata is basically tarama, which is a carp roe, mixed with boiled potatoes, olive oil, lemon juice, and a tiny, tiny bit of scallion.
And the salad is?
The salad is the typical Easter salad. Lettuce in April and May is the fresh green of choice. It's in season then.
Two different kinds of wonderful traditional Greek cookies. This one is anise flavored?
This is ouzo flavored, anise flavored, and these are koulouria, they're called. And again, something that you always find at Easter time. These are actually called drunken biscuits. That's
because they have ouzo in them?
Because they have ouzo in them. These are melitinia. They're from Santorini. Desserts with fresh cheese and cinnamon and egg you find throughout the Aegean. And this is one version of that.
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah, they look great. So we have to crack our eggs.
Oh, okay. Well, what do we do with these?
Well, you cup one in the palm of your hand. Well, you sort of cup it like that.
Okay.
And one hits and the other sort of waits.
Okay, you hit me.
Okay.
She broke my egg, and that means that good luck is Diane's for the rest of the year. And bad luck, well, I hope it's neither
no bad luck.
Okay.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you.